cap left by the All-Stars probably. I don't think that's happening with the All-Stars in the High Limit Series. I think what's about to happen is they're just going to rebrand. Like, we went to the website the other day with the All-Stars, and their website's not renewed. And I made this point when we were doing our talk show with Jeremy Elliott. And if you go to the, why is that showing that? Oh, go to their website and you see it says not secure up here on the top left. It says your connection is not secure to this website. That means that this SSL certificate has not been renewed. So this website is not going to stay around much longer. It may become the property of High Limit and they may change it up. I don't know if there's an email list they want to keep. It's not coming back. I think that's what is going to happen here is that the regional event racing series style things that you have with the All-Star Circuit of Champions are going to stay as they are. Like, I think next year's schedule will mirror what the All-Stars did. Will it be the All-Star Circuit of Champions based on this SSL certificate not being renewed? I think that they're going to just turn all of what All-Stars was and make it high limit events. And that's it. And it's going to be the same style schedule, but they're going to branch out, maybe more than 12 midweek races with the high limit or with the overall series that will now be high limit. I think that All-Stars the name may go away, which is unfortunate. But this high limit does have a lot of new blood, kind of hype around it. More people are hearing when they search sprint cars right now on Google. If you type in sprint car racing, high limit is what the world is seeing right now. They've done a real good job in the marketing department. They have instantly in 1 year destroyed the new eye relevance of sprint car racing compared to the World of Outlaws. You have to go down the page to see the World of Outlaw name at all. So I think in the new way of viewing it, even though the All-Stars have the heritage with being the first national sprint car tour, I think it is very smart in a way to just rebrand everything the All-Stars is doing as high limit, keep the same schedule, same thing, maybe bump the purse up just a little bit more now that you have the hype and high limit and the money being pumped in and supported of the series. I mean, name what name that Kyle knows that would just jump on. Yeah, let's do it. So I think instantly you're going to have a similar schedule to the All-Stars that is bumped up in pay. It's going to be called High Limit Sprint Car Series. And I think these 12, I think they might do more than 12 midweek shows, will be High Limit Sprint Car Series high roller events. I think that's how they're going to do that. There'll be a high roller event schedule within the new high limit full-time sprint car series schedule. And if they were smart, they would kind of, and I think this is kind of what I'm thinking they're doing. I ain't talked to nobody about this, but I'm really good at understanding how they want to do it. If they're smart, and once again, taking a playbook from someone else, I think that they would do something similar to how the MAV or Lucas Oil Series used to have the TV series schedule. And that TV series schedule was a regular Lucas Oil late model series event. It usually paid a lot more money, but there was also a mini series points championship within those TV races. So for instance, if this happens, those high roller events that are midweek that would pay really big money next year, for instance, there would be a points championship series within those events as well. That is also separate from the high limit sprint car series championship. That would also probably reward drivers who are regular, with more so pit pass, etc., and typical loyalty-based earnings within the series. But you would also have an opportunity for somebody like a Rico who wants to maybe go run some other bigger events. He don't want to be full-time high limit. He'll run a bunch of it, but maybe there's some outlaw events where he can make some big money, and he wants to go run those. I don't see Rico doing a full all-star / high limit, high roller schedule type deal. I see him still running a bunch of outlaw events that pay big money and missing a high limit event or two. And that's why I think if you stick with a 12 or to 15 midweek kind of high roller events within the high limit series, and those races still count towards the overall points championship, but those series events in itself create a sub-series kind of TV series-based championship, I think that would add to the appeal as well on how, and honestly make a little bit more sense on how these two things can come together a little more smoothly, and also add in some, different things. The other different thing that I think could happen, starters are optional. all these things that we're going to allow a bigger cockpit area in the frame of the car for leg room or something. Whatever. He's already mentioned how he might want starters in sprint cars. Now he has the opportunity owning a big major series that he can implement optional starters on these sprint cars and say by 2027 or 2026 or 5, you could do it by 2025. By 2025, next year they're optional, but by 25 they're mandatory. I mean, they want to do that with the, fire suppression systems for safety. Well, let's now do stuff for the speed of the show, the quality of the show, and getting the show rolling and going. So, interesting things that could potentially happen. But that's how I see those two things folding together. Let's look at the chat and see if that has changed at all. See, so now the chat over here. Okay, that's what happened. It was my mistake. My mistake on the chat there messing up. Need to run both wing and non-wing just like the Outlaws. Nope, that's too traditional. No one wants to watch non-wing anymore. There's no competition within it. That's a cool idea, Chaz. I wonder if they would try to sell this high roller midweek thing to cable TV networks like the Outlaws did. I think at the end of the day, like Broke Joe, we're going to go and read what he has to say. Just like he was telling me in California. So you're telling me it comes down to the money, Chaz. And I think Flow Racing and the situation they have with the Kyle Larson, Brad Sweet relationship is very lucrative for Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson and the people involved in the tracks and the things going on. Very, very lucrative. And I don't think that the exposure a TV network could provide them is going to outweigh the money that falls onto them on those midweek events, personally. That's what I think. I don't know. Will High Limit be smart enough to piggyback NASCAR races midweek? I think that is for sure going to happen. The Hunt Series mandated starters for years, didn't speed up the show at all, but the Hunt Series also is a very rookie-based series. I believe that's where Dylan Bloomfield started at 18 years old or 13 years old. The Hunt Series is a very rookie league, and the reason that didn't speed up the show is because they're non-wing with rookie drivers and flips and wrecks occur. So I don't think that's a fair comparison. Hopefully Rigsman, Larson, Flow don't continue to implement more NASCAR mistakes. I think Brad Sweet's going to protect that. I really do. I mean, some people don't like Brad. I think his intentions could be, mixed. Me personally, I think that Brad Sweet is okay with going to do the promotional gig with this high limit situation just because I think he found out real quick that if you promote events correctly, you can make more money in one event that goes right than you could make racing a race car all year long. And you ain't got half the pressure to perform and have to throw dirty sliders and race people back and potentially die tonight, and I can make 3 times or 2 times or more money than the whole year racing. Let me take that old job over here. Let's go on a vacation every now and then. That's what I think. So I think Brad Sweet is very happy with what's happening. And I think he's going to also be a voice in that room that could give dirt track reason. Because he did go to NASCAR and got kicked out for the wrong reasons, I think. Not kicked out, but fell out for the wrong reasons. Didn't get the opportunity. I bet you got to see how that world works. And I don't think he is a big fan of it. So I think we got one voice in the room that could potentially help that situation out. Yeah, let them run a starter and brand it high limit hybrid. That's funny. A lot of people in Indiana are still watching non-wing, bro. I understand, but that's only Indiana. Just saying. Trophy Cup fiasco. We're about to talk about that. High Limit is back at Eagle Raceway during Iowa Speedway NASCAR Week, from what I've been told in 2024. To me, that is stupid, Travis. I'm sorry. Why a high limit sprint car race? Is it going to go to Boone or go to Marshalltown on the Iowa Speedway NASCAR Week or Davenport? That would be the dumbest scheduling. And this is why they don't want me, even though some people were just suggesting I need to become the high limit sprint car series announcer and kind of help Brad run stuff. If I was in the room and they said shit like that, I don't care if it's Rick Hendrick, Dale Jr. and Kyle and Denny Hamlin or whoever's in the damn room. And this is why they don't like me, because I'm going to tell you what I think, and it's probably more time than right. I would say that's the dumbest fucking idea I've ever. I'm sorry to cuss, but if that's true, I'm pissed off. I'm mad. Because you got these racetracks like Davenport Speedway unbelievable. You got these tracks like Marshalltown. Now, I get the safety aspect, but these are race cars. These ain't safe cars. If you're worried about getting hurt, go buy you a damn hybrid and stay on the road. For those who aren't afraid and understand that life is going to end no matter what you try to do, it's going to end one day. Get on the racetrack and let's go to Marshalltown, because that's one of the baddest ass racetracks in the country. It's unfortunate that IMCA racing is the hound of the entire Iowa state of racing, and Knoxville's the only hint of Iowa racetracks we get, kind of. I mean, because there's some other racetracks, some short tracks in Iowa that are just bad-ass racing. And racetracks, the shapes, the bankings, the dirt, it's really good. So I'm gonna move on from this, because I could sit here and bitch for another half hour or two. If they do that, Eagle Raceway during Iowa Speedway at NASCAR with Marshalltown and Davenport and Boone, even though Boone I don't think would be a better race. There's a ton of other tracks around closer. That would be just dumb. That would be the dumbest cake I've ever eaten in my life.
This is how we ride. This is how we do. Ride mud, slide